Mackenzie, were you able to finish the work that I assigned to you? I'm going to take a look at it first thing in the morning because I'll need it for the meeting tomorrow.
I just about finished it now. I sent a PDF to your email address. Would you mind please taking a look at it?
I don't think I can right now. I'm actually having a drink with some girls. But I'll take a look over it in the morning tomorrow.
Wait a minute. Did you leave work just to have fun? So what about you assigning me work and saying that it's important because you have other plans?
I mean, having fun to me is an excellent plan, isn't it? Plus, isn't it your job to assist your boss as a subordinate in a company? I think you should feel proud that I chose to assign this work to you. I wouldn't do it if I didn't think you were capable.
Well, I just think that it would be great if you could go over it right now, as there won't be too much time in the morning tomorrow. Moreover, in case there's anything that needs to be revised, I could also just do it on the spot. I don't mind it being done on the way or back when you get home. Can you please go over it tonight?
Yeah, for that, I don't think I'd be able to. Because I might stay at a hotel with someone later. Like I said, I'll take a look over it in the morning tomorrow. So just stick to what I said right now. I know I can count on you.
Mr. Smith, I don't mind you having some fun, but please don't let it turn into a problem that could potentially hinder the progress of our meeting taking place tomorrow. You always look either sleep deprived or very exhausted from a hangover.
It's no big deal. I look that way because I'm a short sleeper. Plus, don't I look healthier than ever as a man who's already past the 40-year-old mark? Anyways, what I'm saying is, if I'm really having a hard time at tomorrow's meeting due to a hangover, you can just do all the talking, Mackenzie.
Wait, do you mean me, talking in place of you?
Or would you rather join me at the hotel? Come on, Mackie, let's be upfront with each other now. Don't you want to take a break now and then?
No, I don't want to, and I for sure will not join you at the hotel. Also, just like I insisted numerous times before, please stop referring to me that way. Please call me by my full name.
What for? I mean, it's only between us and we have a special relationship. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, I do not. You are my boss and I am your subordinate. That is all there is to it. Seriously, there are weird rumors about us at the workplace because you keep on referring to me by a nickname that I didn't ask you to call me. Things like whether we're dating or not.
You mean for real? To make things easier, should we just date for real then? I mean, I got no problems dating a beauty like you, Mackie.
Please stop saying things like that. You do realize that this kind of remark can turn into a serious issue in today's society, right? What's more, it also looks to me that you've been pushing a lot of work on me these days, Mr. Smith. So here's what I suggest. Put more effort and time into your own work. Otherwise, I shall report your conduct and behavior to HR.
What? So you're saying that you're gonna snitch on me to lame HR? Well, then you leave me no choice but to tell them that you've been flubbing the dub a lot all this time at work. Let's see what opinions they're gonna hold of you after hearing all that, huh?
Wait, what? You can't just tell brazen lies like that.
So what if I do? I bet they're still gonna believe what I say because I'm your superior. I mean, you know how much I'm on good terms with HR and the guys at the top. All I'm saying is, if you don't want to paint yourself into a corner, then you better hold your peace and do what I tell you to do.
That is exactly what I've been doing all along, though. And mind you, but don't forget the fact that I also did all the overtime work that was forced on me.
I know, but honestly, because you were a little saucy, I had no choice but to put you in your proper place. Just as a side note, be sure to finish the document we need before tomorrow morning.
Are you seriously telling me to work overtime again?
Just do it at home then. I don't care if you go to the moon to do it. Just get it done. By the way, I think I'm just gonna mark you as leaving work on time for today. The company doesn't fancy the idea of employees working overtime too much.
Okay, fine.
but I'll bet you're gonna feel sleepy while finishing up work at home. So why don't you just come over after all and stay with me at the hotel? I could give you some extra help with work at the hotel. Wouldn't that be great for you?
No, I would like to decline that offer. I can just stop by at a cafe and finish the rest of my work there.
Oh, I mean, as long as you finish it, the specific location doesn't really matter that much to me. But just think how pathetic a picture that would paint in one's head, thinking that a white-collar girl should sit by herself at a cafe with a lonely expression on her face eating a meal.
Hello, this is Brittany Smith. You lent me some money the other day at Bar Stux. I just want to say thank you so much for helping me out. If it's all right with you, I'd really like to return the favor. Are you available for a short meetup by any chance during the weekend? Oh no, you really don't have to do anything to thank me. I know, but I want to pay the money back to you. Never mind the money, it's only a few dollars anyway. Please, just let me return the favor. The truth is, the only money I had on me was some change in my pocket. I actually lost my wallet and I didn't realize until I was already in the shop. Plus, I was freaking out since I couldn't reach my husband either. You really saved me the embarrassment of having to wash dishes or something to pay for what I got. Well, I'm glad that I was of help, but it's already more than enough for me that you got in touch to say thanks, so don't worry about it. Yeah, but I also ended up interrupting your meal. Don't worry too much about that. I just happened to have some work that needed to be done that day. Plus, I can never concentrate on work when I'm at home. Well, then again, thank you very much for helping me, even when you were busy with work. By the way, I saw your daughter was wearing a Red Hills University sweatshirt. Is she a student there? The only reason I ask is because I graduated from there a few years ago. Oh, wait, really? What a coincidence! When I was still a student going to school there, I remember that the head of the English department used to be a retired Olympian athlete. Everyone loved him. I don't know if your daughter would know him or not, though. Oh, yeah, Mr. Clarkson, right? I think he's an administrator now. He definitely still works there. That's great. He really made a huge impact on my college life. He's such a great guy. I'm really happy to hear he's moved up. He deserves it for how hard he's worked. It's a small world! I know, right? It makes me feel good that a university can produce hardworking, respectable individuals like yourself. I hope that my daughter can work as hard too and become a terrific person like you in the future. Oh my gosh, please don't say something like that. I'm really just an ordinary office lady at the end of the day. If you don't mind, may I ask what line of work you're in right now? I work at an advertising agency. I see! From what I know, it's a job that can be extremely tiring and difficult at times. I think a lot of people in the industry often work overtime. That's exactly right, but this working overtime culture is actually no longer encouraged by companies. So I just take work home as a result. That's why I decided to go to a cafe that day. It must be really exhausting for you. I guess nothing will change unless the root of the problem is addressed. For me, the root of the problem is my boss. Like the other day, he pushed a ton of work on me, so I ended up taking it home. But never mind what I just said. Sorry for complaining about my job to you. No worries. That just goes to say how you must have a lot of stress piled up on you. I'd actually like to hear more about your complaints. Just think of it as my payback of the money that you borrowed me. So don't hold anything back. Thank you. I really appreciate it. You know, I don't really have anyone who's willing to listen to all the complaints I have in my day-to-day life. So you have no idea how happy I am now that you're willing to listen. Of course, I'd be happy to listen. Anyways, so what happened after that? I also want to know more about what kind of person your boss is. He literally forces all there is to do on me and leaves work on the dot to hang out with some girls. What's more, he often stays at a hotel for the night and comes to work the next day in the morning looking totally exhausted, and then he'd leave all the work up to me again and just claim the results. Huh, that's really strange. Do you know if he's married with children? Yeah, I think so. He doesn't really talk about them much, though. I'm pretty sure he has a daughter. I mean, what an absolute jerk he is. Why not just go to HR or go above him to upper management? Yeah, about that, he's super good at licking their boots, so the superiors like him quite a lot. After all, it's not really like I never thought about filing a complaint against him or reporting his behavior to the superiors or HR department of our company, but the truth is, he legitimately threatened me and said that he can do the same thing to me and report your conduct to the supervisors. This could only ruin my current standing in the company. I mean, I think he's not entirely wrong because he is for sure the more trusted one between the two of us amongst the upper management of our company, so it'll just be me who ends up in a harder place. Oh my, it sounds like he's really abusing his power. Exactly, I can't agree more there. What makes me even angrier is that he also never pays me or marks it down when I work overtime. His name is Nick, but I always call him Nick the, well, a not so flattering word that rhymes with Nick. Wait a second, did you just say Nick? What is his last name? Smith. No way. Do you work at L&S Partners by any chance? Yeah, I do. How'd you know that? I knew it. I am so sorry for not connecting the dots earlier. But Nick Smith is actually the name of my husband. What? The names of your company and boss all match, so naturally it just came to my mind that he might be the one. Speaking of, does your boss have naturally curly hair? Yes, his hair is naturally curly. And does he have a mole on his chin? I am so sorry. In all honesty, I obviously had no idea that you are his wife. Please excuse me for bad-mouthing him so much. Wait a minute. Now that we're talking about him, I just realized that you guys do have the same last name. I mean, Smith is such a common last name that I wouldn't expect you to recognize the link right there immediately. Though to be honest, I'm seriously in shock right now. I could have never thought that my husband had such a horrible side to him. Still, I can't believe I just told you all that about your very own husband. I just want to make sure for the sake of my life, but what you just said right there are all true, right? You really don't have to worry about anything from me. So if it's the truth, just tell me that it's the truth. Yes, it's the truth. I see. Sorry to ask for this kind of help, but would it be possible to do something about all this mess? What do you mean by that? I mean that I really don't think I can take another day of working under him anymore. It's just that I don't get why am I the one suffering for this kind of unbearable treatment at work. Yeah, I understand. I also know that it's strange to say this type of thing to his wife, but I really want revenge for all the injustice and mistreatment that I had to suffer because of him. Anyways, I guess what I actually want to say is, do you mind please showing him consequences for what he's been doing? What exactly do you mean when you say consequences? Never mind, forget I said anything. I guess it wouldn't be right to say all of that to you. After all, you are his wife. So don't worry about what I just told you. I think it would be in the best interest of the both of us to forget this entire conversation that happened just now. You don't have to worry about that, really, because it's totally fine with me. Not to be kidding with you or anything, but I'm honestly bristling with anger right now. For God's sake, how in the world can he make light of a woman like this? I understand how you're feeling. The truth is, although we both go to work every day to support the family, he literally never helps me with any house chores or whatsoever. He would always say that house chores and child rearing are the jobs of a woman and just lays around all the time at home. What renders me even more speechless is that he says he has no time for all that's happening at the house because he's so preoccupied with work. But I mean, who could have thought that in reality he's just picking up girls? Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I'm so sorry. Speaking of that, I'm pretty sure that he's going to be picking up girls again after work today. He left work a lot earlier than usual. Interesting. Well, I guess then what he said to me is the total opposite of the truth. He said after work today he'll be drinking with a couple of colleagues. So do you know the name of this girl he's been having an affair with? I think it's some girl from a club. Also, I think there are multiple girls with whom he hangs out. As a side note, he's also invited me multiple times before to spend the night with him at a hotel. What? Of course, I turned him down every time he asked me, but it just made me feel very uncomfortable. What's more, he wouldn't stop calling me by this nickname he gave to me. And this is after I've already insisted to him numerously that I do not wish to be referred by Mackie. He for sure has his eyes on you already. I mean, how much of a lowlife does he have to prove himself to be? Anyways, I'm so sorry for all the trouble that my jerk of a husband has caused you. Oh, no, you really don't have to be. It's me who wants to apologize for telling you things like this. Would you like to meet up and discuss things in further detail? Like, I was thinking maybe we could do it on Saturday in the evening, if that's fine with you. Because there's no way that I'm going to keep on letting him act like this. Got it. Thank you so much for your cooperation and understanding.
Hey, Mackie, what are you up to?
What is it? It's the weekend. Is there something up with work?
Oh no, this text has nothing to do with work. I just wanted to ask if you want to come over to my place right now. Come on, I know you could make some time for me. Plus, I'm telling you to come over as your boss.
What do you mean?
Actually, my wife and daughter just left the house. So I was wondering if you could come over and cook me something to eat.
No, I don't think I can. I mean, this is your personal life and not a work matter. Therefore, I don't think there's anything that I can do or help you with.
Huh? Do you seriously think that you can just turn me down like that? Or would you rather I report you to the supervisors of our company? Are you telling me that you don't care about your standing in the company anymore?
No, I do care about my standing in the company. I will be heading your way in just a moment. But not by myself, since I'm actually coming your way right now with your wife and daughter.
My wife and daughter? What are you talking about? Did you not just hear what I said? I told you that my wife and daughter left the house. Plus, what do you mean by you're coming my way with my wife and daughter?
What I mean is that I met her by coincidence a few days ago at a cafe. And as we talked further, I began to realize that she's in fact your wife. Therefore, I'm with her right now and we're just talking about you.
Huh? What kind of a coincidence is that?
I know, right? But it's indeed the truth. By the way, she's right beside me now and looking at her texts.
Wait, you're serious? You mean that she's actually with you right now?
Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. Why is he not coming home? I can't believe this scumbag of a man who I call husband. Tell him to wait for me right there, because he's for sure about to have his neck broken. These are her own words to you.
Come on, you know that I was just kidding with you right there. Don't take it seriously.
Well, what about you spending the night with some girl at a hotel? I don't think that's something you could just call a joke.
Don't tell me that you told everything about me to my wife.
Not only that, I also wish that you could be here to see the expression on your daughter's face when she heard it too.
You can't just tell her all of that without my permission. Never mind. You don't have to come over to my place if you don't feel like it.
No, it's fine. I've decided to come after all. I think that it must be destiny to get this opportunity to get to know your wife. Anyways, I hope you're ready for what's going to happen next. Are you? Mr. Smith, where are you right now? I'm at your place. You didn't just run away, right?
Well, I just remembered that I need to go somewhere. I'm leaving the house now.
Well, it seems to me that you just chickened out. Please don't tell me that you're planning to gloss over all the things you've done. Or is that actually what you're trying to do right now? If you keep on copping out, I'm pretty sure what will eventually suffer are your own standing and reputation.
I don't want to have anything else to do with you.
Hey there, it's me, Brittany. So what you're telling me right now is that you don't have anything else to say about what you've done. Is my understanding correct? You do realize that that was your last chance to find yourself an excuse, right? our daughter and I will never believe you again.
Is this really Brittany?
I'm speechless looking at the things you've written to Mackenzie. With that being said, I guess you wouldn't be too much against the idea of filing for a divorce. Of course, I'll also be demanding alimony.
Hold up a second. It's not what you think. This is all a misunderstanding.
Well then, tell me what it is that I happen to misunderstand. I've already seen all the text exchanges between Mackenzie and you. You having an affair and asking Mackenzie to spend the night with you at a hotel are all facts, right?
I told you that I was just kidding with her.
You really think that I'm so dumb so as to believe what you say? How brainless do you really think I am? Both our daughter and I absolutely despise you.
Why are you jumping to conclusions?
How wrong was I to think that storming out of the house with our daughter would make you reflect on yourself and what you've done? I can't believe that you threatened one of your employees and tried to make her come home to our house. How much of a lowlife do you have to prove yourself to be? You're really nothing but a pervert.
The reason why I asked her to come over to our house is because I just wanted to have a meal with her. It's the truth. I swear to God.
But haven't you also told her in the past to spend the night with you at a hotel? Actually, you know what? That's it for me. The divorce is definitely happening. Even our daughter doesn't want to see your face anymore. Plus, you're never at home anyways.
Honey, you know the only person I'll ever love is you. I'm being dead serious right now. Hanging out with girls to me is nothing more than a hobby. Girls, guys, I see no difference. Please think the divorce over again.
What are you talking about? There's a huge difference between hanging out with girls and sleeping with them. The fact that you say all this with such a straight face makes you all the more a jerk. There's absolutely no way for me to continue living under the same roof with a man like you. Our daughter and I will pretend that we've never known you and live our lives without ever thinking about you again.
How can you say that to me? How can you pretend to have never known me? Do you think it's okay to say stuff like this to your own husband?
You were once my husband, but not anymore. After all, I guess it really is destiny for me to have the opportunity to meet Mackenzie.
What kind of a destiny is that?
The kind that destines you to karma. And as your wife, my last duty will be to give it to you. Just know that I'm doing it not only for myself, but also for Mackenzie, who you have harassed all this time.
Don't do that, Taylor. I'm sorry. I'll be heading back now. I'll also make a formal apology, so just forgive me this time.
It's too late, Mr. Smith. It seems like your wife is going to hire a lawyer now to discuss further details in regards to the divorce. She's also going to let the company know all about this.
The company? This has nothing to do with the company. What is she going to say to them?
Probably things like how you threatened me as my boss and try to have me come over to your place. Or it could be those times when you wouldn't acknowledge my overtime work, am I right? And the fact that you often force all the jobs on me and then just skip work yourself to pick up girls.
Fine, Mackenzie. I acknowledge everything that I did to you. I'm serious. I have well understood the way you feel. Furthermore, I will apologize for all that I've done up until now. So stop my wife from doing what she's about to do.
You think finally calling me by my name is going to change anything? It's not. Also, I've literally been waiting to say this for the longest time. But you're such a loser of a boss that you make me sick to my stomach.
I think that's a little harsh.
You're lucky I'm polite. From what I know, what you did is power harassment because you aren't capable of doing your own job. You really should be ashamed of yourself as a man. So from now on, please stop being such a nuisance to me and standing in my way. It's time for you to know that a jerk of a boss like you carries the risk of decreasing the productivity of the entire company.
How dare you speak to me that way? Don't forget that I'm still your boss.
Well, you won't be any longer as I see it. So I'll say whatever I want to you because now you're just an ordinary, low-life jerk as far as I'm concerned. You thought you were untouchable, didn't you? Man, it's so satisfying to see you get what you deserve. Anyways, you should just give up all your shenanigans, because if you don't, the only person that'll be painted into a corner in the end can only be you, yourself. So grow up and act like an adult. After this incident, my boss's wife told me that she'll be taking the matter to our company, so I advised her to bring my boss's laptop with her. The reason why I gave her this advice is because I think that the laptop might offer some new evidence about his misconduct. And just like the way I saw it coming, it seems that proof of my boss's misappropriating company funds had been found in his laptop. And guess what's even more unbelievable? That dirtbag has been using company party expenses to pick up girls at strip clubs. Needless to say, my boss was fired as a result. What's worse, his wife and him are now divorced and she lives alone with their daughter. I heard that he has to pay alimony every month to his wife now. Somehow he actually managed to find a new job somewhere. Just out of curiosity, I asked his wife about what he does at his new workplace. Well, it turns out he got a job through one of his little girlfriend's connections. I mean, I think the word sweatshop is a better way to describe it. Nonetheless, he has no choice but to keep working there because he's short on money. At this point, all I want is for him to go through a tough time for all the benefit that he's reaped up until now at the expense of others.
Hey, dork! It's been a while. Since what, like middle school? Anyways, tomorrow's prom. You're not planning on coming to it, are you?
Hi, Miranda. How have you been? Actually, I was planning on going, since it is one of the biggest events before graduation.
Are you serious? What business does a nerd like you have in attending prom? You didn't even go on our middle school graduation trip. We're talking about prom here. We dress up, we dance, we party all night. It's no place for a loser like you.
Well, as a senior, I have every right to go. So there's nothing wrong if I attend.
It's gonna be so lame if you're there. It'll just ruin the entire mood if you end up going. Don't you want us all to have a good time? I just assumed you weren't going, so it's a good thing I decided to ask. Do us all a favor and don't show your face at tomorrow's prom, okay?
I already said I'm going. I promised my parents before they died I would make the best of my high school years, since it only happens once in a lifetime. Also, my parents were actually high school sweethearts, so prom was quite a big deal for them.
Whatever. I don't need to hear about your parents' sad story. Just know that if you come to prom tomorrow, I'll destroy you.
Excuse me?
You heard me. I'll embarrass you in front of everyone, so you won't even be able to show up for graduation. If you know what's good for you, then you'll just stay holed up in your bedroom tomorrow. But that's nothing new for you, right? Everyone knows that you were a social recluse since middle school. And even though you enrolled in high school, you never showed up for any of your classes. No wonder you're such a loser. You probably have no social skills, so you'll probably just make a fool of yourself even if you try to socialize.
You're right that I only attended school through middle school, but I moved on to high school with the rest of the class, so I should be entitled to attend prom just like everyone else.
You never came to a single class for 4 years of high school. How much more of a loser can you be? You're only technically considered part of the school. You've had no social interaction with anyone here. I bet no one even remembers you. You're probably still a 13-year-old on the inside, not a day older than middle school. But the rest of us, we've matured. We're gonna be adults soon. So we don't want anyone with the mental age of a preteen to ruin the best night of our lives. Don't you have any shame?
Oh, but you don't have to worry. If we just avoid each other throughout the night, there shouldn't be any problem.
I don't even want you in my line of sight. It'll be a problem if I happen to catch even a glimpse of you. But if you still insist on coming, then you better show up in a black head-to-toe bodysuit. If you're there to be the center of a joke, then maybe I can accept your existence. For just one night, though.
A bodysuit? But actually, my mom already had a dress made for me.
What? I thought your mother passed away, so how could she have made a dress for you?
She made the arrangements when I was born because she wanted me to wear this specific pattern. I guess it's some kind of family tradition or something.
You're joking, right? She made the arrangements when you were born? She was thinking way too ahead of herself. And what? She's not even around for the actual prom? What a total waste of time and energy.
You can say whatever you want about me, so mock me all you want. But I will never let you disrespect my parents like that.
What? Who do you think you're talking to? Who do you think you are, talking to the future prom queen like that? You have no right bossing me around. Besides, who cares if I talk trash about your parents? No one's gonna stop me anyways. And they're already in heaven, so they can't do anything about it either.
Don't you dare talk about them.
It's your fault for being so weak. My sister always says weak losers should just obey as popular people. My sister is a psychopath that I avoid at all costs. But seeing the way you are, I hate to admit it, but she's absolutely right. So anyways, you better not show up to prom tomorrow. And if you do, don't say you weren't warned.
Liana, my sweet, are you almost done getting ready for your big night? I'm so sorry I had to leave for a business trip at the last minute.
Oh, Gramsci! You don't need to apologize. Just a few more final touches and I should be ready to go. Don't worry about anything. Just think about taking care of business there.
Oh, my baby doll. I still can't believe that it's already your prom night. I know the past few years must have been really tough for you. But are you sure this is what you really want? To be the next successor to this business? There's no doubt that you have the courage and the brains to run this business. So I'm confident that it'll be in good hands when you take over. And you've won everyone's respect, so no one has any issues with you sitting at the top. But it's still not too late to change your mind, you know?
No way. I've already made up my mind. Everyone helped raise me, and I wouldn't be who I am today if it weren't for them. We're family. Besides, I've been watching you ever since I was a little girl, and I just knew that I would follow in your footsteps one day. There's nothing else I want to be, or do. And that's why I've been working so hard all these years.
Well, if you're sure.
And I'm certain that Mom and Dad would be supportive of my decision too. If they were still alive.
Oh, I'm not so sure about that. Your mother, bless her soul. I'm pretty sure she would have wanted you to choose a different path for your life.
That's not true. You know my dress that I'm gonna wear tonight? Mom had our family crest embroidered all along the hem. Even though she didn't choose to follow in your steps, I think this was her way of showing that she accepted what you do.
Perhaps you're right.
Hey, Gramsci. Thanks for taking care of me all these years. I'm sure you've had to sacrifice so much to raise me. I want to thank you in person next time, though.
My dear Liana, I'm sorry for making you feel so lonely all these years. I feel terrible for robbing you of your childhood.
What are you talking about? You've done nothing wrong. I know you did your best to raise me, which couldn't have been easy on your own.
Exactly. Even when your mother was a little girl, I left the childcare all up to your grandmother. She probably had a good laugh up in heaven, though, because Lord knows I had never even changed a single diaper before you came along. That's how little experience I had in taking care of a child. So I'm certain that I was never able to provide the kind of childhood that you deserved. But look at you now. Such a beautiful and intelligent young woman. What did I do to deserve such a perfect granddaughter?
Oh, Gramsci.
I was absolutely broken when your mother passed away. Lindsay was my life, and my life wasn't worth living without her in it. But then you came along and gave me back my sense of self. The way your smile lit up the entire room. I was able to reclaim my purpose in life because of you. And just know that I'll do everything in my power to protect you. When your appointment becomes official, it'll be a rough road that lies ahead of you. But if it becomes necessary, I'll always be your shield. So you just need to keep your head up and stay confident. Don't ever doubt yourself, and keep moving forward. And once you set your mind to something, don't ever deviate from your decision. You're going to be in a position where people will be watching your every move.
I know.
Liana, is something wrong? You sound a bit insecure.
It's really not that big of a deal. But
what?
well, one of my classmates told me not to show up to the prom. It seems like I've been labeled as a social outcast since I spent pretty much all 4 years of high school avoiding contact with everyone. It's been almost 5 years since we last saw each other, but she claims that I'll just ruin the mood for everyone if I showed up.
I won't tolerate anyone who badmouths my granddaughter like that. Tell me who it is.
You don't have to worry about me. I'm used to people saying things about me. And what can I do? Since I was never around to defend myself. And besides, I'm not so weak as to let a few rumors break me. But then she started to insult Mom and Dad, and said that if I showed up to prom, she was going to embarrass me in front of everyone for not listening to her. It's not going to keep me from attending, but I'm just worried something might happen.
The nerve. What kind of person insults an angel? She is messing with the wrong family. Who is it? Let me take care of her.
No! Gramps, just calm down. This is my problem, so let me handle it myself. I just want you to be happy about my prom night and upcoming graduation. Don't worry, it won't be long until I take the burden of the business away from you.
If that's what you want, I'll stay out of it this time. But if you ever need my help, just let me know. I'll always be on your side.
I know, and thank you for that.
I told you all those times not to show up. Yet, here you are. It's your fault for ignoring my warning, so this is what you get. Who do you think you are, flaunting a dress like that anyways?
Did you really have to do all this? What have I ever done to you?
You didn't listen to my warning, for starters. I told you I didn't want to see your ugly face around. You've really got some nerve showing up tonight. But none of this would have happened if you just stayed at home like the loser that you are.
How could you? My mother left this dress for me. And my grandfather, who raised me for all these years, has been looking forward to this day for ages. But it's all ruined.
Well, isn't that just too bad? Why don't you just go on home with your grandpa now? It's where you belong in the first place. What a sad pair. By the way, how does it feel to have your dress covered in mud on prom night? A loser like you doesn't deserve such a gorgeous dress anyways. It totally doesn't suit you.
Will you finally shut up if I completely destroy your home?
Excuse me?
I've had enough of you. You think I'm gonna keep quiet while you walk all over me like that? You heard me. I've decided that I'm gonna destroy your home.
What are you even talking about? You know, I wouldn't be surprised one bit if you were some kind of arsonist or something. But my house has a security system and a fence. Destroy a home? What a laugh! Good luck.
Fine. And since I even have your permission, you'll see that I keep my word.
Hey, Liana. The pictures from prom are ready. Do you want me to print you some copies?
No thanks. Not interested.
But then you won't have anything to remember the special night by. The pictures are great. Totally captured your shocked expression as mud poured all down your dress. Are you sure you don't even want one picture?
I hope you were satisfied with making such a fool of me.
Of course! Oh, and I'll let you in on a secret. That mud, it was no accident. I had it ready in a bucket since the day before. And I also mixed in some ink so it was extra black. It definitely won't be an easy task to wash it out. Anyways, you just have to see these pictures. Let me send them to you. You should keep it as your last high school memory. Did you get them? Aren't they just great?
Yep, I got them. And I sent them straight to my lawyer.
What?
Well, you completely ruined a very important dress that my late mother left for me. I just finished filing for damages, so the pictures came at the perfect time. Completely backs my claim.
Wait a minute. What do you mean you filed for damages? Over a ruined prom dress? Don't you think that's a little extreme? I'm sure you got it off the rack anyways. Not even worth the fees for submitting the claim, I'm sure.
Try $100,000.
What?
My mom had this dress custom made by the best tailors using the best materials. And those were real diamonds that covered the dress. So yeah, it's worth $100,000.
You're kidding, right?
I'm gonna have you pay for the damages in full.
That dress was worth that much? I had no idea.
So, thanks for the pictures and your confession. It'll all be used as evidence against you. It should be an easy decision for the judge to make.
Wait, am I gonna be arrested or something?
Most likely, yes. And by the way, I already had professional pictures of my dress taken before you ruined it. So no need to worry about me not having any pictures from that night. I already have plenty.
This can't be true.
Oh, and one last thing. Remember I told you that I was gonna destroy your home? Well, that's already done too.
What do you mean?
That's right. You're on a trip now. Where was it? Florida? It's a great place, isn't it? But unfortunately, you don't have any place to come home to anymore.
What did you do?
Oh, you know, I just thought of a really great location to build this new apartment complex. And your house was sitting right where I wanted to put in a swimming pool. So we just finished tearing it down to make space.
What? You can't just do that without permission.
Oh, but I can. Because to be accurate, your house was just returned to me. We own that property, and you just rent that house from us. Besides, your family asked to live there at a reduced rent, under the condition that they could be asked to move out at any time, even without warning. And we agreed, as an act of goodwill towards the local community. But to have that favor returned in this way...
No. Wait. How can you just... Who are you?
I'm just the granddaughter of Luciano Colombo. You know, head of the Colombo family. That pretty much presides over the entire city.
Colombo? That mafia guy? Are you serious?
That's right. I guess you forgot what my last name was since we hadn't talked in so long. And now that I'm about to graduate high school, I've been named the official successor to the family. I've been acting as the new head since 3 days ago.
Liana the Loser is the head of a mafia family? That just can't be right.
What can I say? My grandfather was pretty famous back in the day. And I've been told to keep out of the public eye, at least until I was 18, to keep me safe from any enemies that might try and steal my position. Sure, I was holed up in my room, but it wasn't like I was doing nothing. Like he must have assumed. I had all kinds of tutors coming to my house every day, so I spent all my waking hours studying or practicing a skill. I wasn't allowed to go to school because the family thought I would be at risk.
That was the reason why you didn't go?
That's right. After middle school, my grandfather sent me to Italy. Apparently he had some connections with government officials or something. Since they're able to keep my true identity a secret, I'm currently enrolled in a boarding school there.
Italy?
Yep. And there's no one there that wants to harm me, so I can focus on my studies without hiding behind closed doors. I'm just back in the States now to attend prom, and our family's official succession ceremony. Once I go back, there'll only be a few more weeks left until graduation. So once I have my diploma, I plan on fully taking over the duties as the new head. Until then, my grandfather will act on my behalf and watch over the clan. He is pretty notorious for not accepting disrespect from anyone. His favorite way to punish transgressions is to destroy people's homes. And I learn only from the best. Since you thought it would be funny to insult my entire family, you now have the honor of being the first home I destroy. Oh, how great it feels to have my first job under the belt. Just 3 days into my new position.
I had no idea you were someone of that status.
It's too late to regret your actions now. I've already decided that I'm never going to forgive you for what you've done.
I told you, I didn't know. I swear. If I'd known, I never would have done any of that. Liana, I'm sorry. Not just for the muddy dress, but for all the insults and teasing, too. We're classmates, remember? We have history together. You can't just destroy my home like that. How could you do such a thing?
It's not just your home that I'm destroying. I heard that your father is a manager at one of the companies my family operates. He's gonna be let go since his daughter is being charged with a criminal case. It's company policy. So your family will lose all means of income.
No! Wait! Stop! Do you really have to do all that? If you fire my dad, how are we supposed to live?
Oh, and your family has some debt too. Owed to guess who? Sounds like you're in for a rough ride. But good luck. You're now an adult too, so I'm sure you can figure something out.
Are you satisfied now? You think you can bully me because I'm in a weaker position? You're just a cruel human being. If you have even the slightest remorse, please help me.
Excuse me? Don't worry. My conscience is perfectly fine, and I feel absolutely no guilt whatsoever. In this world, it's survival of the fittest. It's unfortunate for the weak, but that's just the way things are. After that, Miranda's family lost their home and their jobs, as was forewarned. As a result, Miranda had no choice but to turn down her acceptance into college because she no longer had the means to afford the tuition. And because she was ordered to pay $100,000 in damages for ruining my dress, her whole family is now working endlessly to make that payment. But at this rate, who knows when they will ever finish repaying that debt? As for me, I'm now in the position to command the financial dealings within our family and have the authority to move large amounts of money. Miranda and her family have been begging for relief from their financial burden, but I've just been completely ignoring them this whole time. It's what Miranda deserves. After embarrassing me in front of a crowd and insulting my late parents, there's just no way I have any compassion left for her. I don't ever plan on providing her any assistance.
Hector, my man. Well, that was quite a surprise, wasn't it? Who would have thought that we would encounter each other again as working adults?
Brett, yes, it's been a while.
Huh, look at you sounding all formal like a proper adult. I bet no one would believe now that you used to be one of my minions back in college. But fate works in funny ways, huh? Because it looks like we'll be seeing more of one another from now on.
Yes, indeed. It was quite a surprise to me as well.
I was about to burst out laughing when I walked into that meeting. I could barely concentrate on the business deal because of your stupid expression when you recognized me. Or is that just the way you look all the time? You seriously haven't changed one bit since our school days.
I'm sorry if that offended you in any way.
By the way, do you remember that video of you bowing down to me in your underwear? I still watch it sometimes, just for laughs. Oh, those were such fun times. Maybe I could show this to the guys here and get a few more good laughs.
Please, don't do that.
Why not? Seeing you after all this time reminded me of that video. And what a masterpiece, if I may say so myself. Imagine what would happen if your parents came across it.
Please, anything but that. I'm begging you.
You want me to let this go? I guess it is pretty embarrassing. Well, in that case, you'll do whatever I say. Do you understand?
What exactly do you want from me?
For one, I want you to reduce the contract fee between our companies by half.
By half? No, wait. You can't be serious. We'll end up losing money if we do that.
That's not my problem, though, is it? Besides, why should we even have to pay this much to a lowly subcontractor in the first place? But whatever, the fact that you're the president of the company already means that you're doomed.
I hope you understand, but asking to cut the fee in half is just unreasonable. I can't allow it no matter what.
Well, in that case, I guess you leave me no choice but to release the video to the public. You don't mind, do you?
Please, anything but that.
Yo, so you do mind. Then you should have just done what I asked from the start. But actually, I know I said that you need to cut your fees in half, but that might have been a bit misleading.
What do you mean?
What I meant to say was, I'll be pocketing half the fee that we pay you every month. so you'll only be receiving half of the amount that we agreed on, and you better accept that arrangement.
What are you talking about? That's embezzlement.
Embezzlement? Please, you'll give people the wrong idea if you say things like that. Just look at it this way. You'll be giving me the money every month, so that's not stealing, is it?
What's wrong is wrong, no matter what kind of ridiculous ways you want to justify it.
Oh, really? Then I guess we're back to where we started. So, you don't mind what happens to you? I'll send that video out to a lot of people. Are you sure that's what you want?
That's just cruel. That video has nothing to do with our business relationship.
Oh, so you want me to keep this matter professional and related to business? Is that what you're saying? Then how about this? You know that $3 million business deal that we just negotiated? You can forget that discussion even took place.
What? But if you do that, it'll be a huge loss for your company as well.
Yeah, right. It'll hardly make any difference to us that we cancel your contract. You're nothing more than a pathetic subcontractor to us. And besides, who do you think you are, setting your fee at $3 million in the first place? I'm sure I'll find a replacement company that will do the same job for much less.
Please, think about what you're doing. We've already invested so much time and money into this project already.
What can I say? It's not my problem. But my offer still stands if you agree to cut your fees in half.
Wait, but I can't do that. If I agree to your demands, it'll bankrupt us.
The choice is yours, but otherwise, I'm gonna release that video to the public. And that will ruin your reputation for sure, and you'll never be able to show your face anywhere again. I'll give you time to think it over, but if you know what's best, you know what you need to do.
I'll have to think about this carefully.
Sure, but don't keep me waiting too long, okay? You better come back with an answer soon. Oh, and by the way, you better not go blabbing about this conversation to anyone else. You understand? This stays between us.
Just give me some time to think.
Hey, honey, is everything all right? Did something happen at work? You just seem so preoccupied since you got home.
Sorry, it's nothing. I just don't have much of an appetite. I think I'll just head to bed early tonight. Sorry to make you worried.
Are you sure? Because if there's something that's bothering you, you can talk to me about it. You always keep these things to yourself and try to resolve everything on your own, but I might be able to help, you know?
Well, actually, I had a meeting with our supplier today. And guess who was there? Brett Hollander. Do you remember him?
Brett Hollander? That guy from your frat who used to bully you?
Yep, that's the one. He used to kick me around when I was a freshman because he was older and so much bigger than me. But it turns out that he works for one of our close suppliers, and to make things worse, he's handling the contract for this current project.
And did he say something to you?
He hasn't changed one bit. He was still a bully, treating me no different than all those years ago. And that just brought back all the bad memories of that time. And now I have this project that he's in charge of. I don't know if I'll be able to handle it.
But aren't you in a higher position than him now, in terms of your job title? And doesn't he know that you're the landlord of that property? If you decide to terminate the lease, his company won't be able to stay on as the tenant there.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Was there something else that he said to you? Just tell me. How can I help you if I don't even know what's going on?
It's nothing, really. And he didn't say anything else. But realistically speaking, it won't do us any good to terminate their lease now, right? I just got really flustered because the way he treated me back then was pretty horrible. And just seeing him in that meeting brought back all the trauma.
I can just imagine. That was a pretty bad time for you. I could barely stand watching you being treated like that.
But you stood by me through all of that. I owe you everything for helping me overcome that period. I probably wouldn't have been able to make it through college if it weren't for your kindness and support.
I don't know if I was able to help all that much, but I'm glad you felt that way. Even back then, you had so much perseverance, but you always kept things to yourself and tried to resolve everything on your own.
That's not true. Without you by my side, I never would have been able to bear it. You always had my back whenever I needed you, so I'm sure you suffered because of me too.
That doesn't matter anymore, does it? We never did anything wrong, and he was always the instigator. I was only doing what I thought was right, and I always believed in you. That's why I was always by your side. You were always so kind and honest, and still are.
But I hope you know that it's all because of you that I'm here where I am today. I would have never imagined running my own company, no matter how small, if it weren't for your confidence in me. And with our first baby on the way, I couldn't be happier with how things turned out. You'll always be my biggest supporter, and I'll forever be grateful to you.
Stop it! What's gotten into you? Why are you getting all sentimental all of a sudden? You sound like you're on your deathbed and saying your final goodbyes or something.
No, it's nothing like that, but you definitely helped me make up my mind. I know what I need to do now. It's time for me to pay you back for everything you've already done for me. I can't let you keep worrying about me like this any longer.
Made up your mind? About what? What are you planning to do?
Don't worry, I'm just talking about work. Anyways, I'm gonna head to bed soon. I want to rest as much as I can before I have to see Brett again tomorrow morning.
Okay, if you say so. Good night then. But there's no need for you to suffer on your own. I'm always here for you, so you can rely on me too, okay?
I know, and you have no idea how much I appreciate that.
Well, why don't we get started right away? I've been looking forward to this meeting all morning. I hope you have a good answer for me, Hector.
Yes, I've decided.
And?
I've decided you can go to hell.
You better watch your mouth. I wouldn't be so cocky if I were in your position. Actually, you know what? You charge too much anyways, so you can just forget about the $3 million contract. I don't know who you think you are, asking for so much money even though we're the ones who provide you with the work. That's some nerve that you have.
Then I'll just terminate your lease and we can call it even.
What?
You're threatening to call off our deal despite knowing the situation, right? Then we'll just do the same thing to you. Your company will need to vacate the office space immediately.
Wait a second. What do you mean? I don't understand what you're trying to say.
You lease your office from my company. Is that clear enough for you? If you want to cancel your contract, fine, but you'll have to deal with the consequences. And you know what that means now, right?
No, wait. I had no idea about that.
You had no idea? So you had no idea who you were working with this whole time. Isn't that a whole other problem on its own? I hope you're not just messing around and taking the job for granted.
You have no right to say those things about me. Fine, then I'll let you off the hook regarding the contract. We can just go back to our original agreement.
You'll let me? Don't you mean to say that you have no other choice? How much longer are you going to keep this act up? Haven't you realized already that you're not in any position to be making the calls here?
Hector, what the heck happened to you? You used to be such a wimp back in the day. You never had the guts to talk back to me. What gives?
It's because I'm the boss, you jag, and now it's your turn to do whatever I say. Oh, and obviously, I'll be reporting our conversation and your threats directly to your boss. It's over now.
Yo, is that right? I wouldn't be too hasty if I were you. I hope you haven't forgotten that I still have that embarrassing video of you. I can still post it all over social media and completely ruin your reputation.
Go ahead and do what you want with it, if that's what you want.
What?
I said that you can do whatever the heck you want. Put up a billboard for all I care. I've already made up my mind and I don't plan on changing my decision.
Okay, tough guy. If you're sure that's what you want, you better not come crying to me afterwards. But I'll give you one last chance to change your mind. All you have to do is cut your fees in half and hand over the half to me.
I told you that I'm not gonna do anything of the sort.
Well, it seems like you grew a pair since yesterday's meeting. I've got to hand it to you. But I hope you know you're digging your own grave. When I expose that video, your reputation will be ruined.
Like I said, do what you want. But don't forget that I also plan on reporting you to your managers.
Geez, you just have to make this such a hassle for me, don't you? Then fine, we can forget about everything and go back to where we stood originally. Don't you even know how to have some fun?
Oh, so what? You just want to forget about all of this? Just like that? Let me guess, you're scared about being reported, aren't you?
No, why should I be scared? I just want to avoid the situation turning into a bigger deal than it needs to be.
I hope you know that regardless of whether you post the video of me or not, I'm still going straight to your managers about you.
What?
You didn't think I was just gonna let your attempted fraud slide, did you? I promised myself that I would do what I thought was right, no matter what. I'm not gonna sit back quietly and let you walk all over me like before. And I won't hold anything back either. I'm gonna make sure that you're charged with everything wrong that you've done.
You better watch what you say. You have no idea what I'm capable of. And don't say that I didn't warn you.
You're not in any position to do anything to me, but let me assure you that I can and will make sure that you're punished accordingly.
If you're gonna threaten me, I can't be held responsible for whatever happens to you. Once that video goes viral, you'll be the laughing stock of this city. You won't be able to show your face to your staff again. Oh man, you know what? Tell my managers, I don't even care if I lose my job. I can get another. But you're finished.
Oh, okay, sure. Whatever you say.
Done? I just posted it. It won't be long before people start laughing at you.
No, really. I never knew that you were actually this dumb.
Say what you want, but you'll be regretting everything soon. What? Wait a second. What's going on here? Why are they all bashing me?
Are you really that stupid? You just posted a video of yourself bullying and humiliating me, and basically admitting to everyone on the internet that you're a piece of crap. Of course they all gonna take my side and sympathize with me. Who in their right mind would think to stand by such a bully?
What is this? Oh my god, I think I've made a huge mistake.
And wait, you even posted it to your main account that's under your real name? That's just the final blow. And I didn't even need to lift a finger. I bet you're starting to regret everything that you've done now. You'll never be able to live this down. Your name will forever remain all over the web.
I think I'll just delete that post for now. This isn't what I was expecting. Why is everyone taking your side? Anyone who watches that video can see that you're nothing more than just a wimp.
Oh, so you deleted that post after all. That works for me too, so I have no problem with that whatsoever. So in the end, all you did was declare that you're a bully and admit to all those degrading things that you did to me back then.
What happened to that coward you used to be? You're the same loser that you used to be back in college. You'll always be a loser.
Maybe, but I'm feeling really confident right now, knowing especially that you just ruined your own life out of dumb spite. But I don't feel the least bit sorry for you, since you deserve all of the backlash and repercussions. I'm glad I'll never have to deal with you ever again. Oh, and by the way, I reposted the video on my accounts as well.
What?
I just wanted to help you out, since you were so dead set on incriminating yourself. Despite you removing it after a mere 10 minutes, it doesn't erase the truth of your actions. I'm sorry to say, but you're finished.
No, this can't be happening.
And like I said, I'll be speaking to your managers about the fraud you try to organize, in addition to the harassment and unprofessionalism.
Please, wait, I'm begging you. Are you at your office now? I'll head right over. Just give me the chance to apologize to you directly.
I'm not waiting a single second. I've been waiting for this day for years. I can finally get you back for all the suffering you put me through.
I know, I get it, but won't you just do it as a courtesy?
Fine, then I'll listen to your apology if that's what you want. But you better get over here right away. If you make me wait any longer, you won't be getting away with it.
Okay, I'm leaving now. How could you? That was really horrible of you. I was down on my knees begging for your forgiveness. Meanwhile, you were sitting behind your desk with a huge smirk on your face, after you already sent an email out to my boss.
Say whatever you want. I told you that my mind was already made up, and I was nowhere ready to forgive you yet. You just think begging for my forgiveness is enough to make up for everything that you've done? I'll have to see for myself that you're completely obliterated by society before I come close to forgiving you.
So that means you really notified my manager already?
Of course, and I'm pretty certain that you're going to be fired immediately. And with the claims that I posted about you, you'll definitely have a hard time showing your face anywhere in public from now on.
This is such a mess. Why is this happening to me?
What do you mean, why? It's just karma coming back to bite you. Think of this as your punishment for being so full of yourself throughout college. It looks like you've pushed your luck far too much this time. You need to take responsibility for your actions and really think about what you've done, once and for all.
I told you that I already realized what a big mistake I've made. I even gave you my sincerest apologies, on my knees even. Yet you still want to punish me?
Remember how you made me beg for mercy in nothing other than my underwear? But that didn't stop you from bullying or harassing me after that, did it? You say that you realize your mistakes now, but it's a bit too late, don't you think?
But I begged for forgiveness.
Oh, stop whining already. It won't make any difference now, even if you go licking my boots. Maybe you should have humiliated yourself by begging for forgiveness in just your underwear. After that, Brett was fired from his job, as was expected. He was exposed for his bullying, harassment, and attempted fraud, so in fact, he was completely banned from the industry. And it turns out that this wasn't the first time he tried to embezzle money. He fell into a huge debt after his company sued him for the damages of all his previous theft. And the video he posted of himself continued to spread online. And because he even revealed his own identity, he'll never be able to live it down. Whatever reputation he had built up for himself came crashing down in an instant. He left the city shortly after, thinking he could escape from this incident. Apparently, he's been going from one irregular job to another, just to be able to survive and pay back whatever portion of the debt that he can. I didn't want to involve my wife in any of this mess, so she only found out about everything after the fact. She was mad that I didn't say anything to her, but I think she's used to me keeping things to myself by now. But for once, I was able to act on my own will without relying on her, so I was pretty proud of myself. I hope that I can continue to gain confidence in myself and become the kind of devoted and diligent CEO that my employees can look up to.
Hey, so with the way things are going, I'm wondering what you're going to get. Hi, Penny. I'm not sure what you mean. I just came back from the supermarket. Do you want to know what I'm making for lunch? No, silly, your inheritance. What does this will look like? We're family, so I have a right to know too. So tell me, how much was it? I don't see why you need to know, though. You're just my sister-in-law. Don't be like that. I just told you why. We're family. I have a right to know. Do you not see me as family? Well, yes, you are family, but this is my inheritance and my property from my side of the family. I don't need to tell you. Besides, it's all very personal information. I don't want any trouble. When my mom died, there was a lot of fighting over who inherited what. So my dad forbade me from telling anyone when he passed. Oh, there was trouble before. Yeah, it was quite ugly. Even though we were all family, there was a lot of fighting and a lot of hurt among our relatives. Everyone kept pressing us for more information and more shares. It was very hard for my father and I to take. We were still mourning my mother when it was happening. But I was so lucky to have your brother by my side. He really supported me through that tough time. He tried to protect me as much as he could, and he was always there when I needed him. That's when I thought that I needed to marry him. Oh, wow. How nice for you and Peter. Since you married my brother, that means that we are family. Since I'm your family, you should tell me. Didn't we just go through this? Your father told you about your inheritance once. He told you because you're family, yeah? Well, you won't tell me. That means that you don't think of me as family. If I'm wrong, then tell me. What did you get? How much was it? Well, let's start with property, okay? I heard that your father owned all the property around the house as well. Is that right? Yes, that's true. And what else is there? There was a bit of money that he had saved up. Just as I thought. That means that I can borrow money from you, right? You're gonna borrow money again? I just lent you $300 last week. Yeah, but I'm the one looking after my parents. Do you know how tough that is on me? I need the money. Your in-laws need your help. As a part of this family, it's your duty to help out any way you can, don't you think so? It's not like you don't have the means to help out either. You just inherited land and money. You can afford to give some of it to us, right? You won't just keep it all to yourself. That'd be very selfish. Peter even told me that I can count on you if I had any problems. You said you wanted to pay Peter back, right? Didn't you? Since he was there for you when you needed him, it's time for you to return the favor. Okay, I understand. How much do you need? Just $300. That's not a lot. Okay, fine. I'll send you the money tomorrow. That's excellent. Thank you very much. But please let this be the last time. I don't want to turn this into a habit. I still need to pay my father's hospital bills. Yeah, sure. Anything you say. I'll only ask you when I really need it. You don't mind, right?
I'm so sorry about your father, Carmen. I haven't been back for a very long time, so when I heard, I was really surprised.
Bruno. Wow, it's been ages since we last talked. Yeah, my father is in the hospital right now.
Actually, I went to see him a while ago. He's very worried about you.
He is? Well, that's just like him. He only worries about other people and never himself.
Yeah, he's always been a nice person to everyone, so that's why it made me sad to hear that he's sick. Oh, by the way, sorry that I wasn't able to attend your wedding last year.
You don't have to apologize. You were busy with work. I totally get it.
About that, I know I said that it was because of work, but that was a lie.
What? You lied to me?
The truth is, I couldn't handle the fact that you were getting married. I couldn't bring myself to go. I really did get transferred, but it was my request. I needed to get away for a while.
Wait, are you saying what I think you're saying?
Sorry, this isn't the time. Right now we need to worry about your father. I was so shocked when I saw him.
He hasn't been quite himself ever since Mom died 2 years ago. His health kept on declining. He already had underlying health issues, but the depression seems to have sped up the problems. I couldn't take care of him at home anymore, so that's why he's in the hospital now.
Your dad also said that he's worried about your marriage. Are you happy with the way your life is now?
Wow, that's very sudden. But yeah, I guess I can say that I'm happy with the way things are for the two of us.
That's good to hear. Then it's fine, I guess. Anyway, I'll be in town for work for the time being. I'll be sure to pay your father a visit as often as I can.
Thank you so much. I'm planning on doing the same. If you ever have time, let's have a chat again, okay? Oh, your dad passed away. It must have been rough for him all the way to the end. He's with my mother now. They must be really happy together. That's a nice thought. Okay, that's the end of the formalities. It's time to get down to business. Let's talk about the inheritance. What? Oh no. Did you forget? You said that you'd tell me about your dad's estate and how much you're inheriting. Let's start with the money. So, how much are you going to get? There isn't any money. What? What do you mean? Before you said that he had a bit of money saved. Yes, but what's left will be used for funeral expenses and his hospital bills. I've also been lending you money, so there isn't any left. No, wait. There's no money at all? The only thing that's left is the property? How embarrassing for you. Oh well, better than nothing, I guess. We're gonna make the best of what we got.
We? Who are you talking about?
My parents and I, of course. Who else? Anyway, we're planning on building a new house on that land. We already hired a contractor, so it's too late to back out now.
Do whatever you want.
That was easier than I thought. Thanks for the free land. I'm so happy that we're going to be living on it.
The funeral and memorials are all done. It must have been really hard on you. How are you feeling?
Thank you very much for helping out at the funeral. I think my dad would have been happy with all you've done for him.
No, I don't think he would have been happy right now.
What do you mean?
You're demolishing your dad's house and building another one?
Yeah, there are a lot of memories inside that house. But my sister-in-law and my husband are building a new house on the land.
First they destroy your house, and then they steal your land. It's under their name now?
They didn't steal it from me. We're all gonna live there, so I put it under my husband's name. It just makes things easier.
They forced you into this, didn't they?
I'm sorry, what?
Your husband isn't who you think he is. He's seeing someone on the side.
That's not funny at all. Don't even joke about that, Bruno.
I'm sorry to tell you like this, but it's true. Your dad asked me to investigate them. I even have proof that he's been cheating on you.
No way.
I suspect that they're planning to kick you out of the house and the property once it's all done. He's most likely going to divorce you and marry the other woman.
Wait, that can't be true. Peter isn't like that. He'd never do that to me. He was there for me when my mother died. He shielded me from all the attacks from my relatives. My mother came from a wealthy background, and all her relatives were so scary in their pursuit of her money and her share of their estate. In the end, to appease everyone, we gave it all away. They left us alone after that. But that doesn't change the fact that Peter was there for me and helped me through it all.
That was all a part of his plan to get you to trust him. He was playing the long game.
What? It was all a plan?
Your father overheard him talking to his sister once. It was before he was hospitalized. He went to a cafe one day and saw them there.
That can't be.
He didn't have the heart to tell you at the time, but he told me everything during one of my visits. In the very last meeting, he told me to look after you, and I made him a promise that I would do so.
That's a lie. You're lying to me.
I wish it was, but it's all true.
He was tricking me since the very beginning?
Peter saw how much your mother left and thought that your dad had the same amount. That was when he started his scheming.
I can't believe this. But if what you say is true, then very soon I'm going to be kicked out and he's going to file for divorce. That would mean that I would have nothing. I won't have anywhere to go. I can't deal with all this at once right now. This is too hard.
Don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. I made a promise to your dad, but even if I didn't, I'd still do everything in my power to protect you.
Thank you. But why would you do all this for me?
I've had a crush on you ever since we were young, and even now I still love you.
Even now? Even though I'm married?
I can't help it. I never had the courage to tell you how I felt. I was always scared that I'd lose your friendship. I was fine with just being your friend and having you close to me. But then that guy came in and swept you off your feet before I could even tell you my feelings. I was mad at myself for not being there for you earlier. I felt like I let you down, so I started to distance myself from you. But when I heard that he was really scheming against you, I got mad and swore that I'd make sure he can't hurt you.
This is all a little much to take in right now.
I know, but there's no need for you to be worried. Everything is going to be okay.
It's already too late. All the paperwork and the filing has already been done. The property is already under his name. In the eyes of the law, there's nothing that we can do.
I wasn't thinking about getting the property back.
What? Then what are we supposed to do?
Your father and I came up with a plan of our own. Everything has already been put into place. We just have to start the process. I won't let anything bad happen to you, I promise.
Hey, Carmen! I think you've overstayed your welcome. It's time for you to leave. What are you talking about? The new house will be finished soon, and Peter wants to get rid of old baggage before our family moves in. Get it? And just to let you know, Peter doesn't love you anymore. His true love is someone who he dated a long time ago. He reconnected with hers, so you need to get out of the way. Don't get in the way of their happiness and our new house. That means he cheated on me. Cheated on you? No, that's wrong. It's the other way around. He always loved her. You're the one that's the side piece. You need to know your place. Don't even think about alimony. You're not going to get any.
When a married man cheats on his wife with another woman, the wife gets alimony.
Don't be stupid and spew that kind of nonsense. He liked her first. You're the other woman. Get that through that thick head of yours. He has no feelings for you at all, but you have money, so that's why he married you. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. This was all my idea. I'm the one that came up with this plan.
It was you. You thought of all this?
Yes, I'm the mastermind behind it all. I'm never going to see you again very soon, so I'm going to tell you everything. I've known you for a while now. To be exact, I'm a friend of one of your relatives on your mom's side. I thought you were loaded, but you had less money than I thought. That's why I thought it would be best to just take small amounts of money at a time. That's why you kept asking for $300? Yes, I wanted to get as much out of you as I could. $300 isn't so much that you would say no right away. You fox. Everything is your fault. You did this just to get close to me? You're a horrible person. Don't you feel bad at all for doing this to me? None at all. You're the one that was stupid enough to fall into my trap. You should have been more careful and less trusting. It's a tough world out there. You gotta be smart if you want to get ahead. That's right. Lucky for me that my dad and my friend were there to help me. I need to thank you for taking that land off of my hands. That land comes with a property tax of $70,000. I could never afford that. $70,000? Yes. Everything's been transferred to Peter's name, so it's his responsibility to pay it. There's something called an inheritance tax as well, and since I didn't sell the property to Peter, he needs to pay that as well. But I'm sure you knew all that already since you're so smart. Well, I didn't. I thought he'd just get it for free. $70,000 is too much. The new house alone cost over $500,000. There's no way he can afford that. And my family can't afford to help him anymore. We all pitched in for that house. With the property tax, we won't be able to make our mortgage payments. It's too much. We can't afford it. $70,000 for a piece of land is actually quite cheap if you think about it. I didn't even want to inherit it, so I'm really glad that you guys took it off of my hands. What? What do you mean you didn't want to inherit it? Well, the neighbor next to us lost his parents a long time ago, but he lives and works out of state. He hasn't been back to the property in a very long time, so he sort of let the place deteriorate. It's gotten to be quite a mess. The son is also my childhood friend. He came back recently and visited my father in hospital. They had a discussion about the property, and my friend decided to turn the property into a dairy ranch. What the hell? A dairy ranch? They already applied for a permit, and it was approved a few days ago. They're going to start setting up everything this month, and they're going to move about 200 cows in next month. At least that's what I heard so far. Anyway, our property is small compared to the neighbors. Even when your new house is finished, I don't think it'll be really pleasant to live there. It's going to be quite noisy and smelly. Will you guys be okay? Of course we won't be! Who'd be okay with living next door to cows? Why the hell would they want to build a dairy farm there in the first place? Well, my friend is in the agriculture industry and his parents aren't around anymore. There's a bunch of cows that are in need of a new home. Just when my friend left to survey the property, another neighbor saw him and they got to chatting. Turns out the other neighbor is an experienced cow farmer too. The neighbor said that he's willing to look after the cows for a share in the profits. All the paperwork is in order, and there's even a person who'll be there to look after the cows. Everything's going very smoothly. That's not fair! No one asked us! No one needed to ask you. As for Peter's girlfriend, I already knew about her. In fact, I have evidence of the cheating, pictures, and even video. My friend introduced me to a lawyer. The lawyer already worked on the case and filed it today. We've already found a good number for alimony, not to mention the division of assets. What? You have a lawyer? And evidence? When were you able to get that? The lawyer said that it would be possible for me to get quite a lot from him. We can also prove that you planned all of this thanks to the conversation that we just had. Thanks for telling me everything, Penny. You can't use this conversation as evidence. I won't allow it. You don't have my permission to show anyone. I don't need your permission. All text messages and chat histories can be used as evidence in court. That can't be. I've worked so hard. We waited for 3 years to finally reap the results of our plans. How could you spoil it in just a few weeks? That just shows you that you shouldn't come up with evil schemes. They all come back to bite you in the end. Now you're thousands of dollars in debt and you're living next door to a dairy farm. I'm so glad I won't be with you. Carmen, listen, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have tried to trick you. It was all my fault. I take everything back. I'll even give you all the money that I borrowed. Please make it all go away. Save us. If you don't, Peter's gonna be in a lot of trouble. Wow, you really have a lot of gall to ask me that after the way you've treated me. Why should I help you anyway? We are nothing to each other. No, please. I hate milk. After that conversation, my ex-husband tried his best to squirm out of things, but there was no way of getting away. And that was just the beginning for him. I heard that he tried to sell the house before it was completed. But when potential buyers heard that a dairy farm was going to be built close to the house, everyone withdrew their offers. With property tax, my alimony, and the mortgage, he and his family were all thousands of dollars in debt. He came to me crying about his troubles, but I didn't care. I quickly shut the door in his stupid face. I don't feel sorry for him. Actually, I don't feel any type of emotion toward him at all now. In the end, Peter's girlfriend ended up leaving him as well. She wasn't going to stay with a penniless boyfriend shackled with debt. His whole family ended up moving back into their old, dilapidated house while he desperately tried to sell off his new one. Each and every one of them are barely scraping by. All their money goes towards paying Peter's debts. As for me, Bruno and I started going out, and I couldn't be happier. We've even moved in together. It seems a little fast, but he takes very good care of me and I of him. It'll only be a matter of time before we get married, I think. We've definitely been talking about it. I think that my parents in heaven would probably be very happy with how things have turned out for me. I like to think that they've been watching over me. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos.